Hey, were you that creepy kid whose imaginary friend was just a random poltergeist squatting in the attic? Have you harnessed the supernatural ghostly power of the other side only for it to manifest into an incredibly catchy R&B bop? Well, congratulations, you might be a phantom rogue. But what is a phantom rogue? Well, grab a few haunted daggers, see if you can buy that tape of the little girl in the well, and start blasting some My Chemical Romance to ramp up the potency of your emo superpowers. You know, when I started this channel, I really didn't expect to be talking about death this much. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a part of life, and it happens all the time, and a huge part of being human is recognizing that our time on this planet is limited, and we should make the most of it while we can, but that's like a huge downer, dude. Hey, but maybe there's a lighter side to all that darkness, like a candle in a dimly lit hallway, or a full moon on a late night stroll, or the skin tone of your average emo kid. Perhaps there's someone out there who could make the most of death while still on the mortal plane. Enter the Phantom. Phantoms are a mysterious bunch in the world of D&D as they seem to thrive whilst everything around them fades away. Not that you'd ever know they were there to begin with. You see, a Phantom's closeness to death has allowed them to tap into that ever-looming reality to somehow become imbued with negative energy. And while necromancers and other spooky subclasses make spells, rituals, potions, or other magics to stave off dying or bring it to others, the Phantom specializes in walking the tightrope between the living and the great beyond. In that way, you kinda resemble a Grim Reaper or Shinigami, immersing yourself in macabre magic until you become ghostly yourself. And as your studies in the art of death continue to grow, so does your ability to deliver it. But first, do you love the feeling of crafting your own world but need help keeping everything together? Do you want your tabletop campaigns to feel more like an adventure of discovery and not a list of descriptions on a map? Well, there's no better place to write your dream adventure than friend of the show, World Anvil. World Anvil is the #1 tool for anyone running any campaign, letting you write notes, lay out maps, and share details of your settings with your players all in one convenient site. And although World Anvil works with over 40 tabletop systems, including D&D, Pathfinder, and things like Avatar Legends and Star Wars, its custom tools are so good you can instead use them to create any custom game you can imagine. I love World Anvil for its accessibility and the amount of options you get, but if you ever need help navigating, they still have you covered with hours of tutorials handy so you can make the most out of your campaign experience. Guys, I can't gush over World Anvil enough, so for the best RPG toolkit, make sure to visit World Anvil at my link below and give it a try for free today. But if you absolutely love it and want even more exclusive features, you can use my code YEMBADND at checkout for 51% off for a year. Once again, that's YMBADND at checkout for 51% off for a year. Go forge your next adventure with World Anvil. A huge thanks to World Anvil for sponsoring the show. And now, back to the video. So you want to learn how to shank like a shadow, wreck 'em like a wraith, and slice and dice like a poltergeist? Well, to do that, you gotta start out as a rogue. Rogues are good at stuff and by default gooder than you, so they get a lot of skills. You start right out the gate with 4 skills at level 1, but also get expertise to enhance 2 of those skills to double your proficiency in each. So pick up things that come in handy when slinking through the shadows, like stealth or perception, so you can keep an eye on enemies while staying out of sight. We also get Thieves Can't. Thieves can't what? Thieves can't figure out a language that isn't super confusing, letting you string together random words and phrases to send out messages only rogues will know. But be sure to do it correctly, because apparently just going doesn't count. But any good rogue knows the best technique to dispatch a bad guy quickly is a sneak attack, letting you add an additional d6 of damage to any attack that meets the sneak attack criteria and increases by an additional d6 for every 2 levels you take in rogue. And while you can get sneak attack from close by allies distracting the target, ghosts aren't really known for making friends. But maybe we can change that. At 2nd level, we get Cunning Action to dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action, which comes incredibly handy when you're trying to convince a target that their house is haunted. But it's already 3rd level, and our rogue has dealt death so many times it's synergized with their spooky soul. This gives us Whispers of the Dead, allowing you to gain some knowledge from the lingering soul of someone who died for an extra skill or tool proficiency of your choice. So now each time you slay a target or watch someone pass, you essentially store their skills in a creepy Rolodex to switch proficiencies on a short rest if you ever need to quickly learn about religions, convince some guard dogs you're friendly during an infiltration, or just want to jam out on some bongos. But your favorite ability will always be Wails from the Grave. Now your sneak attack delivers death even faster and to more people, letting you target an additional creature within 30 feet of your original sneak attack mark and send them necrotic damage equal to half your sneak attack dice. You can do this a number of times a day equal to your proficiency bonus, and while that may not sound like much now, at later levels this becomes a hefty buff, letting you clear rooms with the best of your party without the use of an extra attack. See? What'd I tell you about making friends with ghosts? You've got a whole crew of them following you around now, and all they want to do is teach you woodworking and occasionally devour a soul or two. But wrapping up 3rd level, we get Steady Aim to dump our speed and bonus action to give ourselves advantage on an attack, which you can use up close and personal, but I like the idea of staying hidden far away in the shadows and just raining death from above. Imagine the fear on some guard's face when he wakes up to find 2 of his buddies dead, one from an arrow attack while the other just exploded. At 5th level, we pick up Uncanny Dodge to spend a reaction to half the damage on an incoming attack, more expertise at 6th level for expertise and 2 more skills as some of that ghost knowledge has started to stick, and evasion at 7th level to take no damage on successful dex saves and only half damage on a failure, because there's nothing harder to hit than a rogue that's learned how to dodge stuff from something invisible. But it's 9th level where our connection to the dead allows us to take tokens of the departed. Anytime a creature dies within 30 feet of you, enemy or ally, you can spend your reaction to reach out and snatch a piece of their life essence out of the air. In your hand forms a soul trinket, and you immediately gain buffs as you stow the trinket for later. The number of trinkets you can have is equal to your proficiency bonus, and having at least one in your back pocket will give you advantage on death saves, the ability to break a soul trinket to use Wails from the Grave for free, or ask the spirit of a person captured a question before they fade away. Now, if the soul was that of an enemy, they may not be entirely happy you killed them in the first place and just tell you to kiss their incorporeal ass. But snatching the soul of an ally could give you some last minute information in a dire circumstance, or a crafty DM could figure out some narrative way to use that soul trinket for some great roleplay. Just don't Pokeball your friends forever. That does seem rude.
Whoever told you to do this, well, she's either a bitch or a ghost.
Shinobu, you don't look so good.
Run! She's a ghost and a bitch!
At level 11, we're seeing Heaven as our reliable talent lets us treat any D20 roll on a skill we're proficient in as a straight 10 instead, so we can't be bad at the things we're good at, which works out great for us since we can hop swap new skills on a short rest. But it's level 13 where we're
Going ghost!
Yeah, that. Now our spooky self has manifested the Ghost Walk for a 10-foot flying speed, the ability to hover above a fight, and all attack rolls now have disadvantage to hit you. While in your phantom form,
he's a phantom.
Yes, thank you. You can move through creatures and objects as though it were difficult terrain, but getting stuck inside will cause you to take force damage, so make sure you know your way out. But the combos with your phantom...
He's a phantom.
The combos with this rogue are incredible, and because this form lasts 10 minutes and can be activated with a bonus action, it gives you ample time to use it to get into position before a battle and maximize your advantage. And while you can only use this phantom
He's a phantom.
once a day, you can expend a soul trinket as a part of the bonus action to activate and use it again. Though if you want to fly faster, you may want to get yourself a ghost car.
I'm gonna get a Subaru!
At 14th level, we gain Blind Sense to know the location of invisible creatures within 10 feet of you, which makes sense. Ghosts are notoriously hard to spot. At 15th level, you gain a Slippery Mind for advantage on Wisdom save so the spookies can't scare you off, and at 17th level, you become Death's Friend. Now your necrotic damage from Wails from the Grave hits on both the first and the second target, which is 12d6 dice at this level and 15d6 on the first attack at level 20. And if you ever wake up feeling lonely without a soul trinket, you can reach into the air and grab one because, as the old saying goes, it's dying o'clock somewhere. But wrapping up, we get Elusive at 18th level, so no attack will ever have advantage against us, which we kind of already had with our Ghost Walk.
He's a phantom.
I didn't even say it that time. And Stroke of Luck at level 20, so you can turn any missed attack into a hit or treat a failed ability as a 20 once per short rest. So, will our spooky rogue scare baddies to death? That and much more. The Phantom Rogue is just good, plain and simple, easy to understand, and strong enough to hold its own with all the rogue subclasses. And yes, the spooky flavor is great, but you could change Wails from the Grave to energy manipulation or something like bloodbending to fit just about any character you're going for. But like most of my favorite subclasses, the Phantom,
He's a phantom.
god damn it, builds upon itself with each new subclass ability, getting better at all the things you want your rogue to do. More skills? Great. More damage? How'd you know? More movement options? I mean, I shouldn't, but thank you. And that 15d6 sneak attack by level 20? I don't even think I have 15d6 in my house right now. But the thing I love best about this subclass is the potential. It's always great when a subclass opens your brain to all the possibilities, but it's especially great when it can do all that without bogging you down with unnecessary crap. And I think the Phantom walks that line perfectly. So,
He's a phantom.
So if you walk into every fight with a posse of poltergeists, frequently have awkward small talk with the dead guy you just stabbed, and just now realize being half ghost also means you could probably collect on your life insurance way earlier, guess what? You might be a Phantom Rogue. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like what I do and want to support this channel, you can do that over on Patreon for as little as $1. Every tier in the Patreon gets you a shout out like these beautiful people on screen, with higher tiers getting you ad-free episodes, hangouts on Discord, and games DM'd by me. So thank you very much to all the patrons. Speaking of Discord, we're having a ton of fun over there, so if you want to talk shop on D&D, find a game, or convince me to cover your favorite subclass, you can yell at me over there. But until next time guys, I appreciate you, I'm proud of you, and I'll see you very soon.